Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will be showing you that how to create a PDF document from the MySQL database table. So we will be storing the data inside the table, inside the database, and we will be creating that. We will be fetching the data from the database and creating the PDF document. So this will be a complete example in PHP, MySQL, and HTML2 PDF library. So this is the app here, demo of the application. So basically this is name, team, and country. Let me enter any sort of name here. Let's suppose this created a name here. Team, let's suppose India. Country is also India. Let me change this to RCB. Click insert data, and now you will see data is inserted. And let me check the backend. This is we are storing the all these details inside this. You will see name of player, team, country. So let me add one other player. SRH, and again let me click insert data, so you will see the data will be inserted. So now two records are there. Let me refresh it. Now you will see two records are there, and now if I want to create the PDF document, I will simply create download PDF, and it will create into a PDF document. You will see now all these details are there. You will see details is converted into a PDF document. So we are using, for PDF document, we are using HTML2 PDF.js library to convert to a PDF document. This is the official documentation of this library. It is basically a client-side library which converts the HTML to PDF using pure JavaScript. So it uses HTML to canvas and jsPDF in the backend. So this is a library that we are using here. So now I will guide you how to make this application from scratch. If you want the full source code regarding this application, you can go to the video description link. I have written a complete blog post. This is a step-by-step blog post where all the source code will be given. So just go to the video description link and download all the source code. And now let's get started, guys. So here you need to, I will close out all windows. Before that, you need a software called as exam control panel, because it's a PHP server side application, because you will need this exam control panel. It is for Windows. So simply you will search exam control panel, and the very first link which comes in, this is a Apache server. Simply download this for Windows, either for 64-bit or 32-bit. It is also available for Linux, Mac operating system. It's a cross-platform software. So after downloading it, it will be stored inside your C drive, and inside exam folder, go to htdocs folder, and here we will create our project. So we will make a new directory, that is HTML MySQL. I will go into this directory and open this inside the Visual Studio Code text editor. So here, guys, we will create our index.php file. So here we will use our basic template. So here we will change the title, that HTML2 PDF example in PHP using MySQL. So here we need to include some bootstraps for styling purposes. So we will just search bootstrap CDN, and you can go to w3schools.com and just grab this CDN, only CSS part. After the title, paste it, and here we will have the container class. Inside this we will have a text center class of bootstrap, and here we will again give this heading, example in PHP using MySQL. So now basically if you open this inside your browser, you just need to type here localhost slash your folder name, which is HTML MySQL. So this is your heading here. And now simply, guys, what we need to do is that we need a simple form here. So form, we will provide a ID to it, ID attribute, so that we can target it in JavaScript. And this we need to After that, what we need to do is that we need to simple input fields are. So, but before that, guys, just inside your exam control panel, go to the admin section of MySQL. So this will open a new window where all your backend code is there, PHP database functionality. So here you need to create a new database, which will be, I call this as IPL. Click create. So it is created here. Inside this, you will say players table. Just create this. Click on go. So four columns are there. So first will be the auto increment ID field. So just click this option auto increment. This will be the primary key of the table. It will have unique values. Then we will have name, player name, player underscore name, player underscore team, and player underscore country. So these you can take more columns as well. So I'm just taking these four example. Just changes for varchar. This is a text value. So and the maximum amount of is 30. So just make this 30. After that, create your table. Click on save. So now your table is created. It has having these four columns: ID, player name, player team, player country. And after creating this database and table, now we can simply have our input form control. Type will be text, and here we will give it a ID, which will be of a name of the player. And here, first of all, we will give it a label, enter player name. That's it. Now we can copy this and paste it two more times. So this will be player team. Just change this ID to team here, and lastly for country, so change this to country. And after that, guys, we will have a simple button. So here we will say insert data into table. So if you now refresh it, you will see here it will have three input fields out there and a button here. So now you can see that there are three input fields out there and a button here, insert data into table. So here we need to insert this data inside this database that we have created here. So for this, we need a connection to the database. So right here inside this root directory, we will make another file which is connection.php. So we will open the PHP tags here, and then we will declare four variables, which will be first will be localhost, second will be username, default username will be root, and password will be empty. And database, we have created this database as IPL, so IPL, that's it. And now to connect to database, we have this function. So just declare con variable and MySQL I underscore connect. This is a method. So here you need to provide the four parameters. First is host, second is username, third is password, and fourth is database. And now we will check here if the connection is successful or not. If the connection is successful, then we will say success. If it is not, then we will say error. So this is our connection.php file, guys. So now basically we can test this file. So we can simply go localhost HTML PDF slash connection.php. So it will say, it is saying not found. Let me see. Let me see the folder name, which is, sorry, HTML MySQL. So let me change this folder name. So now it is saying line 4, some kind of error is there. Let me see. Oh, sorry, I forgot the semicolon. Semicolon is required in PHP. So if you don't recognize it, it will throw an error. So once again, refresh it. Now success. So we are successfully connected to our database. So now basically we can include jQuery for as well, just to make a AJAX request to the PHP script. So just go to w3schools.com and click on get started and copy this CDN. After the body, paste it, and in this JavaScript you need to handle this form. We have given this form a ID. So when this form submits this, we need to prevent the auto submission of the form. So e.prevent default. After that, we can make a AJAX request. So you can do this using $.ajax. So method will be post. The URL will be insert data.php. So this PHP script we will make, and we will pass the data, which will be first will be player underscore name, and this will be equal to the name value, and the second will be the team. So team will be, so player underscore team, this will be equal to team ID we have given, value, and lastly we will have our player underscore country. This will be equal to the ID which we have given, which is country dot value. Put a comma and this success callback. So whenever the PHP script returns some data to our client side, we can simply alert this, simply alert data. So now we need to make this insert.data PHP script. So insert.data PHP script. So basically here we can check inside, first just have this PHP tags. Inside this we can check inside this if condition, if is set $_post. So in this way you can get the variables that you pass from your client side. So we have passed these variables, player name, player team, player country. So we can get this like this, player underscore team. So if this set, we can echo out, echo out player underscore team. Let me just check if it is working or not. So if I once again go to the browser and try to submit this form, if I enter any sort of name, click, you will see now it will have this value, which is, I think this is player team. So player team, whatever player team we have entered, FDS is printing out. It is sending this data back to the client side, and we are printing it inside our alert box. You will see that. So we are successfully just sending this data to this insert data.php script. Now we simply need to store these details inside the table. So first of all, we can require the script, which will be connection script. So connection.php, which is there inside the same directory. And then we need to get all the variables which we have passed, player underscore name, and also player underscore country. So these three variables are there, and inside this, guys, what we need to do is that we need to construct a query here, SQL query. But before that, just put a semicolon, I forgot it. Just stored all the names here. So this will be $post player underscore name. Then we have our country, $_post player underscore country. And then we have team, which is $_post player underscore team. So now we have got all these three variables. Now we simply need to insert this. So we can say insert, we need to construct it. So insert into followed by the table name. So whatever table name that you have constructed inside this interface, we have this table which is called as players. So we will say players, and here inside this parentheses you will provide the column names. So you don't need to provide the ID, it will auto increment. You just need to provide this player name, player underscore name, player underscore team, and player underscore country, followed by the values that you need to insert. So here you need to provide the values inside single quotes. So we can dynamically insert these variables, which is name, and then we got our team, and then we got our country. Put a semicolon, and now basically we need to insert this to database. So this is very simple. We have a if condition. So this connection variable is there because inside connection.php this connection variable is there, you will see. So we will make use of this connection variable, connection underscore query. So if it comes out to be true, in that case our query is successful, we are successfully inserting it. So we can just say successfully, success, just success. In the else scenario, if it is false, then we can say error, just put a semicolon also. And now this PHP script is complete, guys, so I can execute this. So simply basically if I submit this form here, if I provide the player name, player country, KK, click on insert data, you will see line 15 we have some kind of error is there. MySQL, oh sorry, we need to pass the SQL query, we have missed it. So just pass this query, SQL query that we have constructed. Again refresh it. Click on insert data into table. So you will see success. So we have successfully inserted. Let me now check the table. So if I refresh the table, you will see this entry is added here. You will see player name, player team, and player country. If I try to insert one more time, so let's suppose this SRH and click, you can see success. So again, if I refresh it, so now this entry is added. So in this way, guys, you can add table entries inside the table. Now we simply need to display these entries inside the form itself. Just after the form, we will have uh, this PHP, sorry, we will have the table and we will insert this into a table. And these are all the bootstrap classes. So we will have table head tag. Inside this, we will have three table headings. First is player name, player team, and player country. So these are the three columns out there. And after that, inside table body, we will give it a ID. Here we just need to inside PHP tags, just open the PHP tags. So here we just need to construct a SQL query. So we need to select all the columns, entries, rows inside the table, which is players, put a semicolon. And now to execute this query, at the very outside, we also need to include our connection file. So just require this connection file at the very top, connection.php. So Now we will store the result inside the result variable, and we have this query which is MySQL query, and here we will pass our connection variable followed by the SQL. So this will return all the results out there. So we can use our while loop to loop out each row and display it inside the table. So we will have the row. So here we will use the MySQL fetch underscore array, and here we will pass the result, and here we will close it. The ending curly bracket will be there like this. So let me do this. So inside this we need to display our table row. So this td data, table data, inside this we will contain all the printout. So this will be equal to row. Here we will again open the PHP tags. So here we will echo out $row, and here we need to provide the column name. So whichever column name that we need to insert data. So this will be player underscore name, put a semicolon, and this we need to repeat 2 more times for the remaining 2 columns here. So this will be player country, sorry, player underscore team and player underscore country. So that's it. Now we can refresh the web page. So now it will display the table. So you will now see this will displaying all the results out there which are present inside the MySQL table here. So I can insert some more information. So click on insert, and if I refresh it, this entry will be added here. You will see insert in the table. So in order to get instant refresh here, if I just click this button, I need to get this result right away. So for this real time, we just need to add a simple line of code which is location dot reload. So basically it will reload the page when you hit the submit button. And also what we need to do is that we need to clear out the entries here, which is player underscore name. We need to clear out the, sorry, name. We need to clear out the fields here. Team, the country as well. So just clear out all the 3 fields and then reload the page. So now you can see instantly it is adding the entries here. You don't need to wait. Again, you need to refresh the page. So instantly it is adding these entries. Now we need to require another button which will convert this into a PDF document. So here, right here, after you print out all these, just after this form, we will have another button, and so inside this we will say download PDF. So if you refresh it, now you will see the second button. If you click this button, nothing will happen. We need to bind a on click event handler to it. So when we click this button, we need to execute this method download PDF. So right here in the bottom, just define this function download PDF. So here we need to include the HTML2 PDF CDN. This is pretty easy. Simply type HTML2 PDF.js on Google, and the very first result comes in. Click this result and copy this CDN, paste it. So after pasting it, simply you need to have our options. So inside options, you can provide the margin of the PDF document, and then you can provide. So if you read my blog post, you will find all these options. So you will see these are all the options here you can provide here. Let me just copy paste it. So what will be the PDF image type? Basically, it will take the screenshot and then convert it. So we are using HTML to canvas and jsPDF also. So it is providing the PDF paper size, the unit inches, the format of the paper and orientation. And after doing this, simply call your HTML to PDF library, and this from the table. So here you need to provide which content that you need to convert to PDF documents. So we will target the table. So right here, when you declare this table, just give it an ID of table. So store this reference here inside this table variable. So we will pass inside this from method, and we will set the options that we have defined here. And then lastly, we will save this as a attachment as a PDF document. So file name, you can change this file name accordingly. Let me change this to output.pdf. So now the application is almost complete. Let me refresh it. Now if you want to download the PDF file, let me see why it is. Simply let me see what is the error here. Some error is taking place. Let me see, guys. Let me do this by like this document dot element by ID. Let me refresh it. So now you will see that, guys, it will download a PDF file. So it will contain all these information which are present inside this table. Three columns are there: player name, player team, player country. This is only limited. I've just shown you the text. You can also insert images as well. So in the later tutorials, I will be inserting images as well. Try to show you how to insert images from the database as well to your PDF document. So this was a very simple example by which you can insert data which is present inside your database in real-time scenario in PHP and MySQL using HTML to PDF.js library. So if you want this full source code, you can go to my blog post. I have given the full source code in the video description. And please hit the like button, subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you in the next video.